So the day has finally arrived. You got yourself either a brand new Onewheel Pine X, Pint, or GT. And I'm sure you can't wait to get out there and start riding. But before you do, there's a few key pieces of information that I need to share with you to make sure you're out there riding safely and confidently. Let's jump into it. Each Onewheel comes with a charger, owner's manual, and rider safety information wrapped around both foot pads. It is crucial that you read through all the literature, as this information will help you understand how the board operates. Your Onewheel also arrives partially charged, so you'll need to plug it in and wait, which gives you the perfect opportunity to review your owner's manual and install the Onewheel app. The Onewheel app is necessary to access all the different riding modes, track your rides, install any future software updates, and much more. Once installed, you'll find some more tutorial information that will again help you prepare for your first ride. Now that your brain has hopefully soaked and digested all that information, it's important to protect that information with a helmet. It is important to always wear a helmet when you are riding. Okay, so your Onewheel's all charged up, you've installed the app, and you've read all the safety information. Sounds like you're ready for a ride, but before we head outside, I'm gonna give you a brief rundown on powering on and dismounting the Onewheel. Powering on your board is the same procedure for all Onewheel models. The power button is easily identifiable as it's always on the left elevated rail on the same side as the light bar. The tail of the board does not have a light bar and will always be on the ground when in the resting position. With one quick press, your Onewheel will power on, should you not be covering the footpad or have the board in an elevated position. If this is the case, the light bar will illuminate yellow, letting you know that you've encountered an error and you'll need to turn it off, place it in a resting position, and turn it back on. To dismount the Onewheel, you must disengage one side of the sensor pad. You achieve this by lifting your front heel when at a standstill or below speeds of 1 mile an hour. At higher speeds, the board will not disengage. Another way to dismount the Onewheel is by enabling Simple Stop. With Simple Stop, you slowly ride backwards and the Onewheel will disengage, allowing you to set down the tail of the board. But one of the great freedoms of the Onewheel is that you can ride in both directions, so I recommend using it at the start, then you can easily turn off this feature in the Onewheel app. Jumping off your board with 2 feet is another great skill to have when you need to ditch the board for whatever reason. It is best to be prepared should a situation arise that a normal dismount is not possible. Alrighty, the time has come. Let's pack up, head to a nice flat open space, maybe with a wall or a pole, something to kind of stabilize yourself on, maybe bring a friend. Freestanding on the Onewheel is inherently challenging given the shape of the wheel, so practicing this will go a long way in building your balance. As a quick note, the fundamentals of riding apply to both boards. So for the rest of the video, I will be riding the GT. Alright, you've had some practice, you're feeling ready, you've come up to balance, and it's all a matter of looking up and leaning forward. It might be tempting to look at your feet, but don't do this. Look up where you want to go, and slightly lean, and you'll be moving forward. It's common to want to fight the board. The more relaxed you are, the better off you'll be. The board does a great job of keeping you balanced, so there's no need to fight it. Additionally, a great way to learn turning is by simply aiming your hips and shoulders in the direction you want to go, and your body and board will follow. Pick some markers on the ground as a guide to challenge yourself. Here I'm using parking stalls to practice my turning. You can approach from both sides to get your heel and toe turning down. At some point you could even try riding switch later on in your journey. Another way you can practice is by doing figure eights. Figure eights are a favorite of mine as it allows you to work on either wide or super tight turns. There's tons of opportunities to change things up. The same thing goes for carving. Set some markers, practice shifting your weight from side to side at different speeds. Alright, I hope you found those drills helpful. There's of course a number of ways you can learn how to ride a Onewheel. It is super helpful to have somebody who's already experienced, but it is important to just stay consistent. Okay, lastly, I swear. If you read all the safety information, which you should have, you've watched all those safety videos about riding Onewheel, then pushback should be in your lexicon already. But in case it didn't stick with you, here's another reminder about what pushback is and why it's super important that you understand it. Pushback is when the nose of the board lifts up, signaling to the rider that you've reached the intended limits of the board or encountered an error and you need to lean back and slow down. If pushback continues when you slow down, you need to stop and dismount as you have a low battery or other error. There's information found on pushback everywhere we are, and there's a dedicated video about it on our YouTube page. At the end of the day, Onewheeling is intuitive and pretty easy to learn, but it is a board sport and you should treat it as one and know that all the nuances of riding come with time. After a few hours of riding, you might think you got the board all figured out, but this is when people push the board in ways they're not ready for. So take it easy, enjoy the process, and we'll see you out there. Peace.